This video is made possible by Practical Defense Systems, the best online security training at the lowest prices. You can start your security career today online at pdsclasses.com. Check them out. Hi, I'm Joel Persinger. I'm the Gun Guy. Thank you very much for all of your support of GunGuyTV. I know I say that every stinking time, but the reason I do is because I'm very grateful for your support, and I want to make sure that you know it. You may also check us out on these additional places. Many of them are video hosting sites, and we have duplicated the entire channel over there. So if you're concerned about us disappearing on YouTube, or you think perhaps a video might disappear, which does happen from time to time, you'll find them all on places like Rumble, BitChute, the Utah Gun Exchange, Gun Streamer, and other places like that. So you'll see the list right there. Check them out. You might also check out the GunGuyTV Firearms audio podcast. It comes out twice a week, and it's available on your favorite podcast player. Okay. As you may or may not know from watching my channel, let me move my coffee over here. I have, my wife and I have been very fortunate and able to purchase a property in Arizona, up in the kind of a mountain property up there that's an off-grid property where I can hunt and camp and that kind of stuff. And it's rather sizable. So it's really, really dark out there at night, I've discovered, which is really cool. But I thought, well, I'm going to put together a reloading kit to take with me that it will fit in a toolbox in case I want to do some reloading while I'm there, because I got all kinds of reloading equipment here, but I can't duplicate the detail of this shop in a mobile kit. So I've been slowly but surely acquiring things. For example, I got the Lee hand press, which honestly is very, very handy, and it's small. And I'm duplicating the key sets of dies so that I don't have to steal my dies from here to take them there. They're in the kit, I don't have to worry about it. And then this has the nice little collets that are interchangeable, so you can put your dies in the collets. I got a whole bunch of those. And so that's pretty set up as far as the press is concerned. And then little tools like the bullet puller. I've had this for a while, but I want to get a nicer one that goes on the wall that Frankfurt Arsenal has. This is a hammer type, but I've used it for years. It works great. So I'm going to take it with me, put it in that kit. And then I've got a little Frankfurt Arsenal electronic scale, which will go in the kit along with some batteries and a funnel and, stuff like that. And then I had a Lee zip trim. I actually have a couple of these. I've used them a lot over the years. I don't know if they make them anymore, but they're really a great little trimmer, and they're pretty quick. And so this one's attached to a board. That's going to go in the kit. And I've got a number of these laying around, as you can see, just to organize the shells. And so I'm going to make sure a couple of these are in the kit. And so it's a single stage kind of a setup, but it'll be pretty small, pretty handy. The thing I wanted to deal with, though, was the fact that the reloading press does come with a way to prime cases. It works, but it's cumbersome, and it's not very pleasant to do. And I thought, you know what, the heck with that. I'm going to get myself a hand primer. So I looked at the Lee hand primer. I looked at the RCBS one. I looked at a number of them, and I settled on this one from Frankfurt Arsenal for a few reasons. I bought it actually a few months ago. And since then, I should tell you, Frankfurt Arsenal has become a sponsor of the channel. So now, if you want to get something from them, I can give you a discount code, save you some money, which is kind of cool. So I'm very grateful for that. I like this one for a few reasons, though, that really stood out. One, the build quality on it is really cool. This thing's a monster. It's really super heavy, and I really like the heft of it, and I like the fact that it's really strong. The other thing is that there's this little wheel right here. And what that allows me to do is set the primer depth. So I can adjust to make sure that my primer seats properly. I've used others, and they don't have that. And so that was really a key feature for me. I like making sure that the primer is set to the proper depth, and the fact that I can adjust it was a big deal. And then likewise, it came in this nice box, which is really cool, fits into my kit really well and snaps closed. It's really solid, and everything is fit in there beautifully, so I'm not going to lose anything. And then it comes with all the shell holders that are the standard shell holders, so I don't have to rob my set of dies of its shell holder every time and then keep them organized like that. They just fit in here, and if I don't remember which one's which, there's a handy little chart that tells me the caliber and the number of the shell holder, and they're numbered. So it's pretty stinking organized. And obviously there's a large primer, small primer setup. and then the primer tray. So if you've seen one of these hand primes, you've pretty much seen them all. They all work pretty much the same as far as, you know, you put the shell holder in you want and load your primers in the tray, and then attach the tray and put the shell in and prime it and take it out and prime the next one. I would just say that I've found it to be incredibly positive to have, and it's very, very fast. You know, as you can see, I got a bunch of brass here from Mobius Brass, and in about, I don't know, 10 minutes, I primed a whole lot of 9mm, I just dropped one, primed a whole lot of 9mm cases with this hand prime, and it's actually quicker than some of the other priming methods I've used, so I've been very impressed. Couple of things that I should tell you about, though, in case you're interested in purchasing it. One, I'm over the top happy with it, so I have no qualms about it at all. There just are a couple of items that I thought you might want to be aware of. One is that the tray is set up like, you know, like other manufacturers' trays, where you dump the primers in. In fact, if I can show you, I'll try to do it. But obviously, primers are sort of like dinosaurs. I think they're semi-extinct. You can't find them anymore. But if you have any, you dump them into the tray. I'll just dump a few in there. And then once they're in there, the idea is the tray has little nubs in it, so when you shake them, they're supposed to all end up facing the right way. Well, and this one just did it. How about that? But no, there's one I got to flip over. What I've discovered is that the Lee one and the RCBS one seem to flip them over more reliably. This one doesn't quite flip them over as reliably, so I got to reach over and, you know, flip a couple over so that they're face up like they're supposed to be. And so it's a little bit of a nuisance where that's concerned, but not much, honestly. But that's the one thing about it. The one thing that is somewhat... it's not a problem, it's just you got to get used to it, so I'll prime a couple cases for you, is that if you try to put the case in there where it's going to stay there and then prime it, all your primers fall down to the other side. So I wonder if maybe this might have been a better design if they'd put it on the side. As it is, you've got to start it here with your case and hold the case briefly just to get it started, and then prime it. And then obviously the case comes out and it's primed. But as you can see, I mean, if you're just standing here priming cases, it's very quick. I mean, you can grab them and prime them, and I did. And then the one nice thing about that is once they're in there, they just fall out. So I just basically held it over the top of the coffee can and primed cases and dropped it in the coffee can. That's how easily it's done. So you can see they're all primed. And the nice part about it is I did spend the time to adjust the primer depth so that they're actually perfect. So I'm really super impressed with it. I'm very excited about having it and having the ability to be able to do some loading when I'm in Arizona. I've got a couple more tools I got to pick up, but so far so good. And once I get the whole thing put together, I'll show you what I've got in the the other thing I should show you, first of all, let me tell you, if you want to look at this stuff from Frankfurt Arsenal, I'll put a link in the description, and you want to use the code GUNGUY10, that's the number 10, GUNGUY10, it'll save you 10% on all your purchases of Frankfurt Arsenal equipment from their website. The other thing I'm going to do is, rather than using a powder measure, I've used these many times before. This is the Lee powder dipper kit with a little chart, and actually they work really, really well. I've got a nice little tin that I'll pour the powder in, and I'll use this to load. And then I've got a little powder dribbler I'll take with me in case they're a little off, because I can weigh the charges. I'm not going to be in a hurry while I'm out there, so this is something that will fit really well in my kit as well. That's the other item that I've already purchased. I'm working on some others. But if you're interested in anything from Frankfurt Arsenal, I have a number of their items. I've shown you a few. I think I've got a couple of other items. I think I got a tumbler of theirs and some other things. And I've always been very pleased with their equipment, so I can highly recommend them. And again, they are sponsoring the channel, so if you want to help out the channel, one thing you could do is look at their equipment, and if you would like to buy it, again, there's a link in the description, and use the code GUNGUY10. That will save you 10% on all of your purchases of their equipment. This thing is awesome. Really, really, really like it. And again, I bought it. They didn't give it to me, so I'm giving you an honest opinion. I spent my hard-earned money on it. No, I didn't get a discount. It was before I had any relationship with them. All right, thank you very much. Have a great week, and thank you so much for watching. I'm really grateful. And wherever you go, whatever you do, stay safe.